Hello, my fellow YouTubers. Since I made my stop motion video, I have had many requests by different people to create a tutorial on how to make a stop motion. So today I'm going to honor your requests and create a tutorial exactly how to convert your pictures from pictures into a movie using Adobe Premiere Pro CS5, which I think is by far the best program you can use for creating stop motions, especially if you would like your stop motion to be in either HD or full HD. So the first thing you need to do is, of course, download the program, and you can either use the free trial for 30 days, which you can download legally from Adobe's website. After this 30 days of trial are over, you can either buy the program for, I think it's $2,000 or $3,000, or you could download it in some other way if you would like to. I'm not, yeah, it's not my decision to make for you. But anyways, when you start the program, this is what you will see. And what you do is you press New Project, and all this information here is not really important. There is nothing you really have to change or worry about. The only thing you need to or should take in consideration is where you have the location to save your project. And I have made a map in my documents where I have all my project files, just so you know where you have them. And you can name your project anything you want. I will name it stop motion, as I'm going to make a stop motion, and then you press OK, and it says this project already exists. It's because I tried this before, so I will just save over it. And the next thing you will see is this window, and in here you kind of decide what quality you would like for your video as a preset. And if you would like to have full HD or HD, you press AVC HD, and here you can choose to have either HD or full HD, and I'm obviously going to pick full HD. It kind of depends on how fast your computer is, if it can handle full HD or if you have to lower the quality. And I will choose 1080 p25, which means it's 25 frames per second. This one is 24. I don't really know the difference, but I will go for 25 anyways. And it will take some time for the program to load. But as you see now, this is what you should see. It should look something like this. And now what you do is you want to import all your pictures into Adobe Premiere Pro, and you go to File, then you choose Import, and then you will have to search for where you have all your pictures. And I have all my pictures here. You can have, I don't know where you have your pictures, but you will have to find them. And then you look for the first picture in your stop motion creation, and this one is my first. So I click it, and what is really important now is that all your pictures are in chronological order, so that it's 76, 77, 78 and so on. So it's not completely random, because then it won't work. So all you have to do is you press the first picture and you have all your other pictures here, and then you select number stills down here, and what this does is the program automatically converts all your pictures into a series of pictures. It's like converts them all to a file. So basically the program makes a stop motion for you automatically, and then you just press open, and here you have all your pictures in one single file, and right now it's set to 25 frames per second. If you are really professional and you want your stop motion to be as fluid as possible, you can use 25 frames per second. However, it will take a tremendous amount of pictures in order to do this, and when I started taking pictures I was planning to have 10 frames per second, and this is something you have to take in consideration, because you have to the distance you move between every picture depends on how many frames you're going to use. If you're using more frames, you have to move shorter distances between every picture, or it will look like you're fast forwarding the movie. It will look too fast. So I will have to change this to 10 frames per second. So what you do is you right click on the file and you go to modify, then interpret footage, and yeah, it loads a little bit slow, and now it's set to 25 frames per second. So you will instead click assume this frame rate, and here you can set the frame rate to whatever you want. As a beginner in stop motion, I would say around 10 pictures per or 10 frames per second. You can use 11 or 12 if you'd like. I would not recommend to use too much below 10, because then it will look laggy, and yeah, then you just press OK. When you have done this, you will have your video file up here, and you will just hold left click and drag it down here to the timeline, and put it in the far left corner like that, and now we have your video file here. But if you look at the end, you might not know this, but this is not all of my pictures, and this is something that I came across as a problem when I made my first stop motion, and it is that if you look at your pictures, and they should be all in chronological order, and now you have to search for, if you get, like I did now, not all pictures imported, it's because you have a gap like this. I have all my pictures from 76 to 614, and then there is a gap to 764. This gap may occur due to either if you delete a picture, or as if you did as I did not shoot all the pictures from start to ending. I have 5 scenes in this movie, and for example, I did the ending scene before I did the middle scene. So I have moved a couple of pictures to different folders up here, so that I can import them later. So what you have to do in order to get all your pictures, you might be lucky and have taken all your pictures properly the first time. Otherwise, you click the beginning after the gap, the picture after the gap, and you press number stills again and open. And then you do this with all your files until you have all your pictures imported here. And remember to change the frame rate on all of them. I've got quite a few files and I'm going to do it now. I will pause the recording so you won't have to see it, so it will be done in a second. So now I have imported all my pictures and I changed the frame rate to 10 frames per second. And a good thing to do so that you know where you have all your files is to rename them in the order they're going to be. And this is the start, so I name this simply 1, and then you move around looking in what order they are, and I know, let's see, this should be number 2 somewhere here, and it's this one as number 2, and yeah, I will just rename them really fast. I will stop. There, they are all renamed now, and I have already put number 1 on the timeline, so I will just drag number 2, and remember to always put it as far or as close to the other file as possible. Don't overrun it like this, because then yeah, the second file will overwrite the first file, but just so that you have it just by its side, and you do this with all your files until you have them all on your timeline like this. And as you can see now, if you drag this thing over here, you can look through your video. As you see, I'm not visible in here, but I was visible on my picture, and this is because the picture is too big for this screen. So you have to click on the screen, just left click once, and now we'll have to adjust the size of this picture, and you go to fit and you choose 25% if that is good, and then you grab, as you can see here, the picture is all the way out here, but as the screen is only this small in this program, you will have to reduce the size of your file. So you take this little square over here, wherever it might be on your screen, and you just drag it until it's good, like that. And then you do this for all your files, and if you go down here, you can drag this to zoom in so we get a better view, and you just do this for all your pictures. Just reduce their size so that you can see the entire picture. Otherwise you can't. I have made this problem a lot of times, and it's not funny because it takes a couple of hours to export this into a movie. So yeah, do it right the first time and you won't have to redo it later. There, I think I managed to reduce all the files to the right size. So yeah, now we can see a little preview of what it's going to be like. And yeah, now we have all your movies on the timeline. If you would like to now, you could export the video directly without doing any sound effects. So yeah, if you want to import your music, you just go to File, and once again you choose Import, and then you look up the music you want for your project. and I will just choose some random song to show you how it's done, and then you press open and you will have your music file here. And as with the video files, you just drag it down, but now we put it on Audi, or audio, I mean, not the car, but the Audi O. And as you see now, the music it's much further than the video, and this happened on my very first tryout on stop motion. And if you would export the video now, the video would go black at 1:30 and it would continue playing the music for 2 more minutes. And I suppose you don't want this, so what you do is you go over to the very right corner of the music track, and until you get this symbol, and you just hold left click and you drag it until you get to this point where the video ends. And as you see, it will kind of stick to it as soon as you get close, so you will get a perfect match. And now you have everything you really need for your video. If you would like to, if you saw my stop motion video, you can see that I have many different kind of sounds, and if you want to use sound effects that should occur at specific times, then you just zoom in and then you move this slider until you get to the exact picture where you want the sound to start, and then you put the sound file there. But now you have a complete stop motion, and what you do is you go up here to File, and then you choose Export, and then Media, and you get to this place. I don't know what this one is on as a preset, but if you want to have your video in full HD, you go down to the bottom and choose Windows Media, and here you have different kinds of settings, and down here you have full HD and HD. I'm going to choose full HD, and here you can choose the name for your project. I will just name it Stop Motion 2 or something, and make sure you have export video and export audio clicked in. Sometimes it's not audio clicked in, and then it won't render your audio, which is kind of bad. And if you look here, if you wanted to have a better quality, you can render it at maximum depth. It will take quite a lot more time, but it will look better in the end. And you could change some options down here, like the quality on the audio or something like this, but the most important thing is that these settings are right, that you have full HD if you would like to have full HD. And I'm using maximum render quality and so on. And one thing to remember, which is kind of important, is that if you look on this line here, sometimes it looks kind of like this, and if it does, it won't export your entire video, just the yellow section. So what you should do is you press this one here and you choose entire sequence. I think it's on work area as a preset, but press entire sequence and it will take all your data and export it. And you can see here how big the file will be in the end. And all you do now is press export and wait for your video to be done. It will take some time, your computer will be real slow when you do it, but when it's done you will have your own stop motion. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was helpful and that you can yourself make stop motions now, and if you do, make sure to send them to me if you would like. It would be nice to see what you have accomplished using my tutorial, and if you want any more tips or have any questions, just leave a comment and I will try to answer it as fast as possible and as good as I can. I'm not a professional using this, but I know the basics and I am more than willing to help you out. So good luck in creating your own stop motions, and I will see you, or you will see me in my video when it's done. I'm not going to use this music, but I am going to use something else, and you will see in a couple of days how my video is going to be. So thank you for watching and goodbye.